even the desolation and inhospitable conditions are not enough to prevent people seeking knowledge and adventure from traveling here. By doing so, we are slowly uncovering some of this continent's deepest secrets.
Before I get started with today's video, some exciting news. Tomorrow is the day, August 11th, when Bumblebee is finally launched. I can't wait. It's gonna be a good time. And if you don't want to miss out on the party, make sure to subscribe and like that little bell thing so you get a notification. And just be ready to slam that like button because we'll be so excited to see you there. Anyway, let's get started with the next video. We love part 1, so here we are with part 2. From creatures that shouldn't exist to super animals, today's list is giving you more of what you love. Hey everyone, it's Rachel Fisher and I am back with another top 10 of our top 10 mysterious things found in Antarctica, part 2. Also stay tuned at the end, we are going to be doing some comment shoutouts. Number 10, a giant hole. And by giant I mean 2/3 the area of Manhattan and nearly 1,000 feet tall, large enough to have once held 15 billion tons of ice. Beneath the Thwaites Glacier in West Antarctica, there is a gap between the glacier and the bedrock that was discovered only recently by NASA scientists. Much of the void, as they are calling it, is a result of the melting that has occurred over the last few years. According to Eric Rigneau, scientists had suspected that the Thwaites Glacier was not attached to the bedrock beneath it. This void in the ice has helped reveal to researchers how much the ground has shifted between 1992 to 2017 and continues to lead to more discoveries, and who knows what's next. Number 9, super seals. I'm very glad that I will never know what it's like to survive in the perilous and unforgiving icy tundra that is Antarctica, especially since you need to be a super seal to survive there. Weddell seals had researchers perplexed for a while because they have an uncanny ability of knowing where the gaps in the ice are so they can come up for air. Weddell seals can dive down hundreds of meters while hunting and still find their way up to breathing holes with ease. After years of study, in 2014 the National Science Foundation announced the apparent cause. They may have a sixth sense, and no, it's not that they can see other dead seals. By using the Earth's magnetic field as a natural GPS, these seals are able to find the openings in the ice. Still crazy to me. So not only are they adorable, incredible divers and hunters, they can predict where they need to go in order to survive, which is insane to me. Number 8, glass sponges. No, they aren't actually made of glass, but the reason they are called that is because of the fact that their skeletons contain silica, which is a component of glass. They act as filters and basically pick up any food that passes by and can live for centuries. They don't only grow in Antarctica, but they seem to be playing a very curious role in the area. Ever since ice shelves began disappearing due to global warming, the appearance of glass sponges has increased. There seems to be a correlation between the two, and scientists are trying to work out what the exact cause is. If they figure it out, they will not only be able to understand the ecology better, but also understand how these creatures store carbon. This could help researchers understand some of the key components behind climate change, so it is definitely a mystery worth solving. Number 7, a perfect rectangle. Now, usually when someone says icebergs, first you think of the Titanic, rest in peace, and 2, you might imagine them looking massive and jagged and the whole metaphor of like there's so much going on beneath. But NASA spotted one that caused a couple furrowed brows. It was perfectly rectangular. This type of iceberg actually has a name, and they are called tabular icebergs. They have steep, nearly vertical sides and a flat top. They spotted what was essentially a massive ice sheet cake while doing a routine aerial survey. NASA tweeted the reason for this anomaly and said, "The iceberg's sharp angles and flat surface indicate that it probably recently calved from the ice shelf. The rectangular ice sheet itself is so massive that if it were to melt, the amount of water could fill every swimming pool in California several times over." Crazy. That just goes to show how much water is actually in Antarctica. Number 6, a lava lake. And no, I didn't say lava cake, but boy do I wish I did. But it is still surprising that somewhere tucked beneath all of that ice there is a pool of lava? What? On Saunders Island there lives one of 8 lava lakes found in the world. Scientists from the University College London and the British Antarctic Survey discovered the lake on the island due to thermal imaging from satellite data. They caught images of the volcano of Mount Michel and noticed a lake of lava sitting within its crater around 700 feet in diameter. The temperature reads at around 1,812 to 2,334 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 989 or 1,279 degrees Celsius, which I guess isn't that surprising because it's lava. It's the hottest thing ever. But despite lava bubbling in volcanoes being a very common image associated with volcanoes, there have actually only been 8 ever seen. For the most part, lava dries into rock, which is the case with most of the 1,500 volcanoes on the Earth. So why, especially in such a cold climate, does this one stay molten? Scientists presume it's due to a combination of gases and steam that kind of lock in the heat, but they need to get a closer look, which could take years. Number 5, green icebergs. Actual green, they're jade green. Green icebergs are a weird phenomenon that probably doesn't suit the default image of icebergs in your brain. All the way back to the 18th century, green icebergs have raised many questions and have even had myths built around them. For over 200 years, the mystery of why they happen is finally close to being solved. A research team at the University of Washington believe they have the answer to their unusual hue. Usually icebergs appear white and light blue because of the water, but now Stephen Warren has a new theory, and it relates to the same explanation for blood falls from our last video, which, by the way, if you haven't watched it, go do that now. He believes that iron oxides are responsible for changing the color. Iron oxides are the same compound that create red-brown rust. When they react to oxygen, the iron oxides change the color of the ice. If this study is proven, this could also explain where phytoplankton get their nutrients from, and therefore explain how the whole ecosystem works. So very interesting. Number 4, creepy creatures. Researchers from the British Antarctic Survey were investigating the Filchner-Ronne ice shelf and were set on getting a sample of the sediment core. While drilling around 900 meters through the shelf, the drill hit a rock. But not only that, the camera attached to the drill caught a wealth of creatures latched onto the rock. These creatures, who probably haven't seen the light of day for thousands of years, were suddenly there, making scientists' jaws drop to the floor. Animals similar to sponges were attached, but this discovery opened up all new ideas about life on Earth. These creatures are supposed to rely on food to drift past in order to survive, but these ones are stationary, and they are 1,500 kilometers upstream from the closest source of photosynthesis. How are they getting their nutrients, and where? Number 3, Shackleton's lost ship. Somewhere trapped by mountains of ice is the Endurance. In 1915, Sir Ernest Shackleton along with his crew had to abandon ship when the Endurance slipped beneath the Weddell Sea. The frozen water crushed the hull, so the crew escaped towards South Georgia Island in lifeboats. They traveled 720 nautical miles before they were rescued and left the Endurance where it continues to endure beneath the waves. The idea of recovering the ship has captivated the minds and hearts of seafaring historians and archaeologists for decades. Finally, a UK-led expedition attempted to relieve the ship of its glacial prison in 2019. They made a harrowing attempt but sadly came back with nothing. They sent a submarine to the ocean floor to look for the sunken polar yacht, but sadly the water took that too. They lost contact with it. One of the expedition members stated, "Like Shackleton before us, who described the graveyard of Endurance as the worst portion of the worst sea in the world, our well-laid plans were overcome by the rapidly moving ice and what Shackleton called the evil conditions of the Weddell Sea." Number 2, the Anomaly. Somewhere beneath the frozen wasteland of Wilkes Land in Antarctica, there is something that could change our entire understanding of history. The area they are most curious about is 151 miles across and dives 2,700 feet deep. The most common hypothesis for what is under there is a massive asteroid, and not the one I previously mentioned that blew up before it hit last video. This asteroid is twice the size of the one that destroyed the dinosaurs. If it is indeed beneath the ice, it could be the asteroid that caused the Permian-Triassic extinction event which killed 96% of Earth's sea creatures. Of course, other ideas of what the object could be extend to a massive UFO, and even a portal to a mysterious underworld called the Hollow Earth. The reason scientists believe there is something is due to what is called the Wilkes Land Gravity Anomaly, first discovered in 2006. NASA spotted gravitational changes which indicate an object of immense size. The biggest clue that it is an asteroid is the fact it's sitting in a 300-mile wide crater, so that makes sense. Whether or not you agree is up to you until the day we finally uncover it, but we can all at least agree that something is down there. But what exactly? Who knows? Number 1. Aliens and Atlantis. Antarctica looks like a secret, lying in wait beneath the cold, hard ice and unforgiving mountains. So it's no wonder how year after year dozens of people across the earth report UFO sightings on Google Maps and strange snow patterns belonging to ancient beings. Despite its freezing temperatures, this place is a hotspot for conspiracies and mysteries, including those that believe the lost city of Atlantis is somewhere tucked away. Perhaps the massive unknown object beneath the crater is in fact just that, a lost city. After all, as I mentioned in part 1, Antarctica used to be a tropical oasis before it froze over. Who and what got left behind? Though it is highly likely that a civilization would have thrived here, scientists still haven't found any proof that one did, let alone anything that points to Atlantis. Just like the ocean, we have barely scratched the surface on what we know about this vast icy tundra, and we'll probably never really know. And that was our top 10 mysterious things found in Antarctica part 2. You know what to do, we'll listen to you. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment. Speaking of comments, these ones are from part 1. First one coming up is Zigzag. Holy moly, Rach, I love you and all, but it's like you drank 3 of the 5-hour energy shots, a pot of coffee, and chugged a 2-liter Mountain Dew before running on the set screaming, "Let's do this, do this, do this, do this now, buddy!" You're not wrong. You're not wrong, right, Chris? You're not wrong. It takes a lot of coffee to do this job. And you know what? If that showed up on the video, I am so sorry. I'll ask them to put the video in slow-mo instead. How's that? Steven Mercado. Hey buddy, what's up? You know Dracula Untold, there's this badass scene where he takes out all the Ottomans all by himself? Yeah, he said screw it, I don't need an army, I can take the Ottomans out all by myself. I don't know what this has to do with the video, but the reason I chose this is because I love that movie and I was like, oh, I'm so glad you made this reference. I don't understand what it's in reference to at all, but thanks Steven, you're the best. Nathalia Dowenhauer. Sorry guys. Hi, I am your biggest fan. Please give me a shout out in the next video. This is your shout out. Thank you so much for all the support and love you've given our channel. Thank you, Nathalia. I hope you have a wonderful day. I've been your host, Rachel Fisher, and until next time, guys, take care and remember to subscribe to Bumblebee. It's gonna be exciting. Bye, guys.